Baba is you.
Yeah.
How far do you know how far you've gotten in it or no?
I'm on like World 4 or whatever.
Oh wow, okay. I'm curious to see how far you get before you decide you can't.
I haven't looked anything up.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at because it's like it is very satisfying when you do complete some of those levels, but it got to the
Some
point
days,
where I
yeah.
just couldn't. I was like, nah, I know I can't figure this out. I know I'm not smart
There's
enough.
some days where I literally just have to step away from it and then come
Come
back to it,
back,
and I'll
yeah,
be like, "Oh, I could do that."
yeah,
That's like how I get through everything. Like if I'm like hard stuck on something, if I just like step away and then come back to it like the next day, it's usually how I beat
Yeah.
something.
I mean, I'll be surprised if late game Bob is you're able to step away and then come back and beat it. At least for me, I know my brain doesn't work in some of the ways that the puzzles were formulated later in the game because later in the game you have to solve a lot of. I mean, I guess the whole game is sort of logic based puzzles, but the stuff that they introduce into that mechanic later in the game. What, Mike is laughing. I don't know. What are you doing, Mike?
He's
I'm
not paying
eating
attention
something.
to us.
I'm not
Jesus.
paying attention to your thing. I got
Um,
here.
the the stuff they introduced later, I'm like the easiest way to describe it, I guess, is other things that you have to move and interact move on their own, and you have to manipulate them through a kind of complex way. And I'm just like, no, there's no way I can figure this out. I don't think I can. Maybe if I was able to
I
figure
mean,
out how.
I've gotten like the move command and the push command and stuff. Like,
Yeah, this is like. I want to say this is probably maybe like the seventh or eighth area. I don't know how many areas in the
yeah.
game, but it is like I got to the point where it was like, no, I can't get past these last couple of puzzles to move forward. It's just not going to happen. And I didn't want to feel like looking up answers in order to do that.
My iOS game right now is before your eyes, and that game's fucking trash. I thought you said it was good. Oof,
Your what
it's
game?
fucking brutal.
What?
My iOS game, like my phone game, before your eyes is on it for like Netflix games.
Yeah.
Oh man, you said that game was good. It's fucking brutal.
I don't know what you mean by brutal. Elaborate.
No,
Like it's
it's
bad to
I
play on the phone?
no, like I just keep like if I randomly blink, like
Yeah, that's the game.
my no, but I'm saying like I blink, like sometimes I just like fucking my eyes blinking, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like I didn't even get to 2 seconds of that. You know, it's like is that
Yeah,
over?
that's the game though. Fucking you blink and you'll
Do I
miss your
miss the whole
life.
story? No, I get it, but like at the same time, I keep on blinking. I'm like, the fuck?
I mean, I think
I,
that mechanic does a few different things. It again, like it is very hard to stay cognizant of not blinking.
See, I was trying to do that. I'm like this before everyone. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, yeah, no, it like makes you not want to blink, but like you blink as a human, like it's just a thing that you do. It's hard to control. It keeps you a little more engaged in what's happening because especially certain parts of that story, like you really do not want to blink and miss what is going to happen. But it also works to its favor because it's like, you know, I don't want to reveal too much about the game, but you are basically moving forward through someone's life every time you blink. So it's like you don't get to remember everything, which is kind of like real life. You don't get to remember every moment or relive your moments or whatever. Um, that game's phenomenal. Like I don't know. It's not long. Just finish it because
How long is it? Would you say? Like if I
I
like just
finished it in
pause
a
for like
sitting.
an
I
hour or
fit.
two?
Yeah, yeah. So you didn't get that far. If it's only like an hour or two. Like it's I mean, maybe max 3 hours, but I beat it in a sitting, and I've watched three other people play it or two other people play it, so it's definitely worth it. I've been debating revisiting it myself. I just don't know if
I
playing
just
it
don't have
again will.
I don't have any feelings, so it's like I don't know if it's gonna like fucking hit me like that. You know, like Amanda always says I'm dead inside, so like I don't know if it's like the game for me.
I don't, you say you watch all these fucking movies with great stories. What's hitting with that for you?
Yeah, I don't know. Nothing.
Fucking
I
this
don't know.
guy
I got nothing.
this cinephile is secretly just an action movie whore, but he doesn't want to admit it.
No, you know what? I think like the more I think about it, I think horror is like definitely my favorite category. Even though like some of my favorite movies aren't horror movies, but give me a fucking well-made horror movie all day, every day.
Yeah, I'll definitely pass. You can have all the horror movies. You can have the extra ones. I'll pass on that. Welcome, everyone, to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games or nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we talk about, I don't know, iOS games too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Saturday evening is fucking Scooter McGavin himself, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Were you out riding that scooter recently?
Mike scoots around. I see Mike scooting. He scooted last night.
Mike, you better be wearing a helmet. You got a helmet yet?
No, I meant to buy one. I meant to buy one at Salem Cycle, but they're closing.
So get one on sale.
Yeah,
It was like the last day open.
Oh, they're already closed?
I think unless you had an appointment, they're closed for like.
I
Fuck.
thought you meant
A bike appointment?
I probably would have bought a bike if they were on sale. Fuck.
I don't know if they were on sale. They're just consolidating their location to, I don't know, the other one.
There's two?
There's two.
I didn't know Mike was so into the fucking bike scene. He knows all these fucking specialty bike shops. He doesn't even ride a bike.
I don't know how a place like that could survive though, like year round. You know, like because I was. This is a little off topic, but I was at a Starbucks the other day, and next to it in Beverly was a shoe repair store, and I'm like, how the fuck does that guy survive? There's no how who's getting their shoes repaired? Like if I need, what's that? The cobbler, yeah. It's just I didn't even know they exist anymore. Still,
Brenden, you should pick that as your movie for this movie.
Is that an Adam Sandler movie?
Yes.
Oh, shit. We're doing a double feature? We're doing a double feature of Cobbler and Hubie Halloween?
I never saw The Cobbler.
I didn't either, but I definitely.
I can't imagine that's a good movie. Also joining us tonight is the foot doctor himself, Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing tonight?
I'm gonna open a fucking shoe joint. I'm gonna fix your shoes. Yeah.
We keep saying words that have words. Yeah, the shoe repair guy.
Yeah, you know.
That has a word. It's a cobbler.
It's
The foot doctor is a podiatrist.
No, I didn't I call him the shoe doctor? What did I call it, Todd?
I think you called him the foot doctor.
Oh,
I said
yeah.
podiatrist right afterwards, so I
Yeah.
imagine that you said foot
Yeah,
doctor.
I've been to the podiatrist. Have you
English major.
have you ever met a proctologist, Mike? Oof. I'm telling you, if you go to a party,
Ass man.
if you go to a party, do not walk away from him. Best stories. Every story ends. It was 1,000,001 shot, Doc. It was 1,000,001 shot. Anyways, I've been watching a lot of Seinfeld recently. If you can't tell,
I have too. I've gone back to it too.
And then rounding us out tonight, the man who sat on some fusilli himself, Dominic 40. Dom, how are you doing tonight?
You won't reply.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You won't acknowledge that.
It was a fusilli, Jerry.
Wait, but who's
It's a
getting
junior
their
Vince.
shoes fixed? Like, who's fixing their shoes? Like, someone's got to explain this to me. I just don't fucking understand.
I don't know. I'm sure. I'm.
You wear Tim's all the time.
Yeah, Todd. You.
No, I mean, I don't even have Tim's. I haven't had Tim's in like 3 years. I need a new pair.
Listen,
But-
someone's got a good pair of shoes that they're not ready to say goodbye. They bring it on down to the cobbler, and he cobbles it back together. You get a little tear on the seam. I love these shoes. I don't want these shoes to. These are my limited. No, I don't even know. Can you fix any type of shoe, or is this only for dress shoes?
I'm gonna bring in my Adidas sandals, like the fucking ones that I've had forever. Be like, hey, can you spruce these up a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna fucking melt some fucking plastic together so you can have. And maybe they will. I don't know what a fucking shoe man does. I don't know what. He doesn't like going by the name cobbler anymore because it implies corn on the cob, and it's too hot right now.
Isn't it also kind of weird that there's also like the cobbler, like the pie?
Yeah.
Isn't it odd that we have a word that means person that fixes shoes and like a
pastry.
yeah?
I feel like anything cobbler, like even saying cobbler now, I feel like it seems like it's from like the 1800s. Like it doesn't make sense saying cobbler now. Like it sounds stupid. I know it is what it is, but like
I mean, I think it probably all. I think the etymology of both the pastry and the job probably both stem from the word cobble, in regards to like they cobbled it together. Because when it comes to repairing a shoe, especially back in the day, I have to imagine they're just cobbling some shit together. Like, I don't know how to get this shoe back together. I'm gonna start sticking all these sticky things and leathers and other types of things. And a cobbler, I don't know, you get yourself a nice fruit cobbler pastry. I mean, just cobbling that shit together. It's all just getting thrown into a thing. Because a cobbler is like an open face pastry, right? Like the top of a cobbler is just fucking open, right? It's like a tart open up top. I need to look at a picture of a cobbler.
Sometimes we talk about cobbling too much.
Peach cobbler.
Right, so cobble, to mend roughly or patch.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that checks out.
What's the deal with cobbling?
But apparently cobble also refers to the tool for shaping and preserving the shape of shoes.
Oh, so it's the tool.
Apparently.
Interesting. There you go. You're a
It also
you're a smith.
In Australia and New Zealand, it also refers to a sheep left to the end to be sheared. A cobbler.
Words are weird. Words are real fucking weird. So now like smith, are they a smith because it's called a smithing stone, or is it a smithing stone because they're a smith?
Because they're smith.
And what about Smithy?
Questions.
Why is he Smithy? Because he walked the plank, or is this unrelated? I don't know. It's a Peter Pan joke. Fucking get at me. Anyways, a couple of housekeeping things before we roll into tonight's episode of the Pass the Cobbler podcast.
That wasn't the episode?
No.
It's
Still
brought
doing
to you
this?
by the cobbler down the street.
Yeah, Todd, let's see if we can get a local sponsorship from Cobble Joe's.
Cobble Joe's at 2 Higgins Square.
Yeah. What if we did get a sponsorship from fucking the local cobbler and our shoe game was fucking on point? Like Todd's Timbs were shined up. You could see that shit from fucking Mars. I don't know. Mike's Vans were looking good.
Cobblers and shoe shine are the same.
Well, I don't know how you fix Tim's. I think Tim's, like, if you ruin Tim's, I think you're out. Like, I don't know how.
But that's why I'm confused with this whole thing, because like the only thing that ever gets ruined on my shoes are the rubber on the bottom from just fucking using them.
Yeah, but I've seen the rubber and like the rest of the shoe like separate, like open up. You could stitch that back together. You could stitch that boy back in.
But like, what is the? I don't want to like. But what is the asking price for it? Like, can't you just get a new fucking pair of shoes? Like, what are you paying this guy, and how is he surviving off of like that? Like,
bro, it's a front. It's a front. He's clearly in the back. He's making some peach cobblers. Like that's what his real money. Maybe he's a three-way cobbler. Maybe he cobbles together your shoes. Maybe he shaves sheep and sells wool. And maybe he's got a fucking bakery. Maybe he's just like the tri-cob.
Like, you gotta guess he probably has like 5 shoes a week, let's say.
5 shoes a week? I think that is no fucking way. There's no fucking way that there's 5 people a week that are getting their shoes fixed. I can't believe that.
I'm pushing it? Okay.
No, I don't know how this guy survives. I don't understand either. But like, in this day and age, I think we have moved past the point of that profession.
This dude's paying rent and he's fucking get like 3 customers a week. It's like,
Yeah, 3 customers a week again. Who are these customers, Todd? Have you ever
Hard for me to try and extend this conversation at all, but is it possible that, again, I'm not the target customer, are women like getting like their heels fixed? Is that like a thing that happens?
No,
often?
that guy has no customers under the age of 70. There's no
Jen,
way.
you can text me the answer, but have you ever been to a cobbler, and or would you ever go to a cobbler, and do you even know what I'm talking about?
I was gonna just say shoe place. Don't even.
The top 10% of cobblers in the United States make $40,000.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So it's just gonna be like a passion for them, and they were old.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
For fucking...
The
All right.
median income of a cobbler is $29,000.
Listen, it's a humble life. Maybe the guy just likes shoes. Maybe he just likes restoring people's favorite footwear. I can't hate on it.
I would just picture a cobbler to have like Keebler elves around this place and fucking making cookies all the time. You know?
Again, this guy could do. Maybe it's like it was a cobbler shop, but maybe he just does like clothing repair now. Like maybe he also like is a seamstress and like a.
Or he's a bookie or something. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to suggest that he's doing nefarious things, but I, like, you know, maybe he's doing general clothing repair as well.
This is a separate website, and it says that cobblers make about $16,000 to $19,000 a year.
Yeah, that makes even more sense.
What city is this place in, Todd? I'm just gonna fucking Google.
It's in Beverly.
Is it called Get? I don't want to like talk shit about someone's business.
Don't give him free promotion.
No, give him.
Well, I mean, we're like talking shit. So that's like I don't want to be like, yeah, this fucking guy.
We're not talking shit. We're just generally curious.
All right, is it Gagnon Shoe Repair?
Yes, that sounds familiar. Is it right next to a Starbucks?
Bro, I'm just looking at his website. Learn, and again, we're just assuming it's a guy. We have no idea. Learn about shoe repair services. Contact us today. Shoe repair, shoe cleaning. So I was right with the shoe shine. Orthotics and accessories.
Yeah, that's the place. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, some people just fucking enjoy extensive shoe repairs. Oh, top quality shoe repair. When your shoe starts looking too bad to wear, bring them to Gagnon Shoe Repair for top quality repair service. From shoe and sole repairs to dance shoe modification, you can rely on us to fix it all. Contact our family-owned, locally operated company to schedule an appointment or to learn more about our services. Birkenstock repair, recorking the footbed and replacing the sole, boot and shoe shining, boot stretching, custom fabric dyeing, heel repairs, cut downs and tips, jazz and top shoe modifications, shoe and sole repair, sole protection of men's and women's shoes. I mean, there are people that probably like have shoes they care about and want to keep them for as long as possible.
This person said I needed new heels for my new dress shoes, and the price was very reasonable, $27, including 2 pairs of laces. So yeah, he's fucking rolling in dough.
Listen, how much does the materials cost him? You know what I mean? He's just whittling away at someone's shoes, $27. Gets a couple of those a day. You know, he's got yourself a stew. Jen's response was, a shoe repair? Like fix the bottom of your shoes? No, it's not 1980. It's not 1882.
Okay, so I'm glad. Like that's why I just brought this up, because this was like confusing the shit out of me for several days, and I was like talking to a man. I'm like, wait, like who would go there? I'm like, I just don't understand.
I just love that almost 20 minutes into the podcast, we've talked almost exclusively about shoes. So there's that. Anyways, I think the only pair of shoes that I currently have that I would even consider repairing and not just getting rid of are my Zelda Vans, but I don't think that they're repairable. Like, it's no point. I don't think that there is.
Bring him to your local cobbler.
Maybe I should. Maybe I should bring him to Gagnon's and see what my boy can hook me up with. Maybe he can. Maybe I'll become a believer if he can make these brand new.
Hear me out. What if you do bits and brews with the cobbler?
Yo, bits and shoes.
Yeah, bits and shoes.
Bits and shoes with my boy. I don't know. We'll figure it out. You know, maybe we are sitting on a gold mine here. Maybe this is the future of Past Controller is shoe documentary, cobbler documentaries. You know what I'm saying? Local cobbler. Maybe we can be the people that help reignite the cobbling business. You know what I mean? Like people are like, I never thought about that. I could fix my old Jordans. I could fucking do this. We're leading the fucking forefront. We're revitalizing a whole generation of cobblers. We like
people that make custom Jordans and custom like Nike Dunks and stuff. Do we consider them cobblers?
Maybe that's just the evolution of cobbling.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think so. I think it is the evolution.
So maybe that's the unfortunate situation here is that some cobblers just didn't evolve with the times. In the young cobble game, you got to be making customs. You got to be
those cobbling elves. They fucking scurried off from the cobbling shops and went into the custom game.
Mm-hmm,
no, now I want a cobbling game, like a game like where it's kind of like the power wash game. You just fucking fix some shoes and that's about it.
You just cobbling shoes. I hate everything about this. Anyways, a couple of
Cobble simulator.
Yeah, cobble simulator. A couple of housekeeping things, and then we'll move right into tonight's shoe-free episode.
We should probably add 2022 to the end because we're definitely gonna want more than one.
Oh, 100%,
edition
100%,
of
100%.
Cobbles.
And after we get like 10 in, like the 10th game, we'll do like we'll do like a cobble. I don't know, what are we calling this? We just call it like cobbling 2K32 or whatever we're gonna settle on. And then on the 10-year, we'll do 2 editions. We'll do, or maybe 2 different games. We'll do Cobble 2032 and also fucking taking it back to the roots, Cobbling 1882. You know what I'm saying? Like we get some throwback fucking, I don't know what were they wearing back then, like clogs. I have no idea, but we'll make it happen. We'll do more research than we're going off the cuff here. Anyways, this episode of the Pass Control podcast is sponsored by Pass the Controller. If you're listening right now and you want to think, you know what, how can I support Pass the Controller? You can do that in a bunch of different ways. You can subscribe to us on Twitch. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can share us on social media. You can buy something from our shop at passthecontroller.threadless.com. There is a multitude of ways to support us, whether you have money or don't, to do so. So take a moment at some point this week if you're listening to the show, and if you can do any one of those things or multiple ones, all of that would be beneficial to us and we'd really appreciate it. So this week we're sponsored by ourselves, so do that. Don't leave us.
I'd also like you to go into your local cobbler and
and let them know Pass the Control is saying.
Absolutely.
Oh man, we should probably do something about this at some point. I'm kind of tickled by this. Anyways, a couple other housekeeping things. I feel like there was something else I needed. Yes, something to do with shoes. The PTC Movie Club pick for September is my pick, and it is going to be
Adam Sandler's The Cobbler.
It is going to be a Netflix original movie, but it is not an Adam Sandler film. It is instead the 2016 Paul Rudd starring The Fundamentals of Caring, which I can read the quick blurb of what this movie is if you guys want to know what it is.
Is it about the kid that he helps?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm assuming the three of you have not seen it. If you guys have, I have other movies backed up to pick.
Is that a movie or a show? I thought it was a show.
It is a movie. It is an independent movie. It is a writer turned caregiver and an ornery teen with muscular dystrophy bond after they set off on a road trip in search of offbeat landmarks and adventure. It stars Paul Rudd, Craig Roberts, and Selena Gomez.
And it stars the guy who's in all the Adam Sandler movies, Bobby Cannavale.
I can't.
Guys, I'm bringing it back.
Oh, he is in it, actually. He is in it.
He is.
Holy crap. So yeah, that will be the pick for September. So if you want to hear us talk about The Fundamentals of Caring, you can watch that. I believe it should be on Netflix as a Netflix film, so you can watch it there. If you don't have Netflix,
if it's not on Netflix,
if you don't have Netflix, I don't know how else you have the ability to watch a Netflix film. So I guess this is a Netflix exclusive month. So sorry, I guess if that's something you're not into. So watch The Fundamentals of Caring. We'll talk about it at the end of the month. And I did want to give one more little housekeeping shout out to if you are into art and unique art and cool things, you should definitely follow on Instagram at Danny__wicked. Because he's a friend of the show. He does a lot of nerdy stuff, a lot of horror stuff, a lot of original stuff. But he does a lot of unique things. He'll paint on can lids, hand carve things out of wood or other materials, and then, paint them, turn them into incredible things. He'll kit bash stuff. Right now at the shop, he has an original kit bash of Pepto-Bismol. He took apart a Pepto-Bismol bottle and then created like a giant mech out of it, and did some other creative things with it. So he does a lot of cool, interesting things. But I went down there today because Jen wanted to buy some art supplies, but I was like, kind of wanted to buy one of these things. He recently did a series of, he carved them and then painted them like giant recreations of like ice cream truck like popsicles of like, he has like a,
does he have a SpongeBob one?
He does have a SpongeBob one right now. He has a SpongeBob one. He has a Michelangelo one, and he has a Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls one, and he had some other ones, but they're sold already. And then he did a Sonic one, and it sold. And then someone else, I think someone else asked him to do it again. So he has made 4 Sonic ones, and each time they've sold. So I just bought the last Sonic one because I was like, I kind of just need to have this because it's fucking dope. So check him out. He does really cool shit. He did a Kirby one. I'm mad that the Kirby one sold because I would have probably bought that one. But really cool stuff. I have other things from him. But he's a good dude, local guy, and makes some really cool stuff. He did like a whole run of he created a Bartafinger. So it was a Butterfinger, but it was like Bart's head coming out of the wrapper. Like he created a whole thing, and then he made a mold of it and not mass produced it, but produced a bunch of them and sold them. I think he has a little bit of those left, if that's something too. Like, but he does cool things like that, like very unique, very interesting stuff. Big fan of the stuff he puts out, so check him out. Last bit of housekeeping. I don't know, Mike. What do you got? What's your housekeeping? What do you need help with at your house, Mike? How can we keep your house
Cleaning.
What do you need cleaned? What's the night?
Everything.
All right, so head on over to Mike's house at 123 Gumdrop Lane. Yeah, at 2 Washington Square, and get yourself a delicious fatty, and then walk over to Mike's and fucking get yourself a delicious helping of cat litter, and I don't know, clean Mike's house for him. That's what we're doing. Anyways, before we get into tonight's main I guess one of tonight's main topics, because this other thing is a main topic, I wanted to talk about, normally I ask you guys what you've been playing, but I'm just going to kick right off in what I've been playing, because one of the things we're going to talk about today is a game that I reviewed, or this is going to be the review. I may also write something up, but we'll see. A game that just released earlier this week. It is available on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC. It's also available on Xbox Game Pass. A game called Tinykin. I know Todd has checked it out. I don't know if either of you have seen or know what this game is.
I downloaded it, but I haven't started it yet.
Okay.
I feel like both of them would like it if they like.
I was actually going to suggest Dom download it because I think Dom would like it too. Do you know what it is, Mike, or no?
No.
So the elevator pitch for this game is that it is basically a platformer that borrows some of the core mechanics of Pikmin, in that you have, like, you collect these little things called Tinykin in the levels, and they help you on your platforming quests. Obviously, Pikmin is a top-down sort of RTS action puzzle game, where this is a puzzle platformer where you're collecting the Tinykin to help you, solve your puzzles. Each level has like the main puzzle you need to solve to complete the level, and then there are side quests that you can do within the levels to either unlock achievements, get upgrades for your character, or just, complete the level 100%. I will say that it was a game that I was aware of. I was like, yeah, maybe I'll check it out because I know it's coming to Game Pass, whatever. But then I watched the trailer for it, and I was kind of like, you know what? Like, I might see if I can grab a code for this and check it out, because this seems like it has potential. And I will say, like, when it comes to platformers, it's like you got Mario games, and then you got pretty much everything else right below it, and then, well, anything else that's good right below it, and then there's just, in my opinion, a big divide between that level and everything else. And I would put this pretty high up there. Like, it's a solid platformer. Like, it controls well. The platforming feels really good. The puzzles are great. Using the Tinykin to solve the puzzles is straightforward at first. Like, it gives you like here like how these Tinykins interact with the environment and what you can do with them. But then, I wouldn't say it ever maybe does anything revolutionary or anything, blew my mind, but it was a very satisfying loop of like collect Tinykin, explore the area, solve puzzle, repeat, and just keep like doing that, because in between each level, the basic environment to the house to the game is you're in a house, so like each level is a different room of the house. So there's like a bedroom level and a kitchen level, a bathroom level, etc. And each of those kind of introduce their own sort of, elements. Each level has, I think, really good scalability, because you're like going up higher into the, because you're miniature. I don't remember if the game's story at the beginning, if you are always miniature or you turn miniature when you go there. I don't remember. You're like an alien
I
astronaut
think you
guy.
always are, but I can't remember.
Yeah. So you're in this house. You're solving these quests to finish each level and help these other bugs that live in the house, like try to get you home, building a spaceship. The story's fine. Like, I wasn't super invested in the story, but that's not why I was playing the game. I wasn't playing it necessarily for like a very great story. I was playing
Yeah, I
it
think
because
it's more about like the gameplay loop's good on it.
yeah, I think it's a really satisfying. How much did you play? I don't know if you've gone back to it or not.
I am almost done with the second level. So
Oh,
that
okay.
was
All right.
stacking people.
Yeah.
And I like it. I haven't had too many issues, but I feel like sometimes my depth perception with like the way the character is, how he's like almost like a flat piece of paper.
Yeah.
I've had some issues with like jumping, but not really nothing crazy. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. Liam loves watching it too, so that's always a plus. We played around him, but yeah, I'll definitely probably play through it. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I don't like the second level that much, but like, obviously I'll get through it.
Is the second one the bathroom? I don't remember what the second level is.
No, it's like all the green. It's like the green guys that stack, and you can climb up them.
Oh, is it like the terrarium level? Like you have to like go into the plants? Okay, yeah. That level was fine. I will say so there's I think 5 different Tinykin that all have different, like the first one that you get is like more like a base Pikmin that just like they're gonna carry things for you and move things to solve puzzles. They'll unlock stuff like Todd said. You can get ones that you can stack so you can climb them. You'll get ones that just blow up when you throw them, and then you'll get ones that
electricity, I think.
Electricity ones, and then there's a bridge building one, so you can like create pathways that you need to solve puzzles or to move yourself. But I think the game.
I had the most annoying thing that happened in that game, and it's not like the game's fault, but like I took a picture of the bear on the first level, and then like I didn't bring it to where it needed to go because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I was walking around with that picture for so long, but that picture would completely cover like
Oh
my field
yeah.
of view. And Liam kept like, "Dad, you got to bring that." He's like, "We got to look it up online." But Liam like got me through the first level because he watches some show where like the guy plays through games, and he already watched the entire game be played through on YouTube. So
Jeez.
it's like yeah, he's like, "Dad, the disc is over here somewhere," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, good, thank you."
Damn, Liam's guiding through the game. I will say, like, and to kind of go back to your point about the having some issues with depth perception on some of the platforming, I don't know if I ever ran into that too much, but I will say one of the things I really enjoyed about the game is a game that has no combat, like at all, which is fine. Has no combat, has no like enemies. If you do, die in a level, you can only die from either falling too far of a distance or if you go into water, but you just immediately respawn right at the same point. Like you just spawn wherever you were standing last. So I appreciate that. But I also appreciate, especially because you are platforming so much and you are scaling areas so much, not to the point where it's like, feels like the platforming becomes inconsequential and really has no risk reward, but it's sprinkled in enough that you unlock both, like you can unlock things that drop ropes down, so you can go back up and down. Like if you were to fall,
the levels easier.
yeah, like once you like scale this part, you can unlock the thing so the rope comes down. So if you have to go back up there or want to go back up there, you can do that. And then you also will unlock these like string bugs that will like shoot a string across large areas that you can like quickly go back to other parts. Because one of the other things you unlock shortly after you beat the opening area is a bar of soap that you can use to just move faster, which again, like I feel like the game does a really good job of like, hey, we're gonna value your time. Like you want to be able to move around quickly, revisit areas quickly if you're trying to like 100% levels or find more pollen if you want to unlock more bubbles to glide. I really liked it. Like I want to say shocked, but I was like very surprised that as the game kept going on, I was like, I'm really enjoying my time with this game. I kind of don't want this game to end. Like I was having a really good time with it. If you have Game Pass, I highly recommend downloading it. If you're on the fence, I put up about an hour of gameplay on our YouTube channel if you want to check out the game in action. If this conversation isn't selling you on it, maybe it's not the game for you. But if you do have Game Pass, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I mean, that's the beauty of Game Pass. You can download stuff, and if you don't like it, you can uninstall it right away.
That's 2 games just that came out this week that I fucking both love on Game Pass too.
Yeah, we'll get to the other game in just a second because I if you and Mike talk about it favorably, I might download it tonight. So we'll see.
Yeah, you should.
But to like wrap things up on Tinykin, I would just say it's honestly kind of I would say not necessarily a hidden gem, but it's definitely something that kind of wasn't on my radar. Like I was aware of this game, but it wasn't really on my radar. And I'm very happy that it sort of found its way into my hands because I would have been kind of sad if I had missed this experience because it's short. Maybe if you're just trying to play through it 4 or 5 hours, if you really want 100% it or go for all the achievements or trophies, you could probably, stretch this out to maybe be an, 6 to 8 hour experience. And it got to the point where I was playing it on Switch to review it. I had a review code for Switch. I played through like the first 3 levels and I got my code kind of late. So it was like only a few days between when I had the code and when the game was coming out. So when the game came out on Game Pass, I was like, I kind of want to just restart this on Xbox and get the achievements while I'm doing this. So I did. Like that, I think that kind of speaks to how much I'm enjoying the game. That I was like, no, I will replay the first 3 levels. Like I will play that much of this game a second time, which I think, again, I think that speaks to the quality of the game itself. For the fact that I would choose to do that willingly when I did not need to do that. So I would definitely check it out. It's probably. We'll see how the year shakes out. It has been a banger year. I could see this ending up on my top 10 for the year, like as just a game I really enjoyed. It's just a really fun game. Probably, I'm trying to think of other platformers that came out this year that I've played. Have there really been many platformers? I don't think so.
All I can think of.
So I mean, this is definitely if you're looking for a new platformer, this is like, stop what you're doing, and this is the one for stuff that's come out this year. Unless I'm blanking on something else, but I don't think I am. So yeah, that's Tinykin. I think you would really like it, Dom. Mike,
It's downloaded.
yeah, Mike seems to hate every game, so maybe Mike wouldn't like it, but I think it's worth the Mike. It's on Game Pass.
Makes sense.
It's a fun time. It's a good time. But aside from the normal stuff we've been playing, I know Todd and Mike have both downloaded Immortality, which is another game that just came out on Game Pass. So I have watched parts of this because in one of the Discords I'm in, friends of the show, Jesse and Eric and Ken were all playing it at different times. So I've seen parts of the game, but then I stopped watching it because when they were getting to like later in the game, I didn't really. If I decided to end up playing this, I didn't want the game itself to get spoiled for me. So, how are you guys feeling about Immortality?
Game of the year. I'm really enjoying it. I can't find any broken down like explanations of like what's going on online though, because it's still so new, and I'm like I want to just like see if like my head's in the right place with the game. But yeah, I mean I dig it because like we talked about this. The last game that is it Corey, or whatever this guy, the guy who made these games, he makes all these very similar style
Telling
games,
Lies.
Telling Lies, yeah, like me and you tried playing that, and I was just like, it was very confusing. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm rummaging through a computer. I don't know. This just starts you off with like a single like frame of a movie, and then you basically, you know,
Sam
Which one is
Barlow.
Telling Lies.
Sam Barlow.
Sam Barlow, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then you get to point. So like basically, you start with this initial frame, and it's like a scene in a movie, and there's certain things you can click on in that frame, whether it be the actor, the other actor in the movie, a crucifix, a candle, a cup, and then that takes you to another scene, and you keep on unlocking these, basically these little panels, each one, and you're basically trying to unravel the story. And there's also another element, like not to spoil anything, so I'm not going to really get into that happens in it. But I mean, I beat the game, and I.
Oh, you
still feel
beat
like
it already?
Yeah, I beat it.
Oh.
But there's still so much like I need to unlock in that, and I'm still like I play it like pretty much every day because I want to.
So
I can't figure out what I'm missing.
So this is what I'll say that I don't think would be a spoiler, but I also don't know how the game ends. I'm wondering if there is, like, maybe not multiple endings, but I think there is a true ending to the game.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because I know that when when those guys, when Jesse, Eric, and Ken and Ryan had finished it, I know that they
They all
were
had different
going.
endings.
Oh, I don't know if they had different endings, but I know that they were all going back looking for scenes that they did not find, and they were trying to find them and piece things together. So
Basically, what I'm doing right now.
yeah, how far have you gotten in it, Mike?
I don't know. I can't tell. I
Yeah,
have
there's
no
really no
idea.
way to tell though.
There's no way for me to tell what kind of progress I'm making other than unlocking clips. But there's no way for me to know that I've unlocked all of the clips.
Okay.
So
Or
I
what
unlocked a
percentage of
clip
clips.
last night, and I'm very confused by this clip, and I fucking need to see where the rest of this. It's like one of the 3 movies goes, because something happened, and I'm like, wait, was that the movie or was that not the movie? I'm very confused. Was that like, did that happen in the movie or was that something that happened in real life? And I was like, where does it go after this?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, and now I'm trying to figure out. But like, I'm so entrenched in this game at this point that like when I start up my page, it's like 90 different or over 100 probably, and I'm like, fuck, what did I miss? So I'm like going through every single one trying to see like what like maybe I missed, and it can get very
What I
confusing.
noticed, I don't know, fairly recently is that some of the clips do light up a little bit.
They make a noise when you go over them too. I feel like they start making that like almost
To
if you,
hint at
like,
you that there's something still there.
yes, yeah. So it's yeah.
Is this
I'm digging it though.
is this a game that either of you would recommend?
Yeah, but you know why? Because the acting is really fucking good. That's like the best part of this game. It's like I'm usually like I'm like, let me just fast forward through this bullshit. Just fucking give me my achievements and here we go. And I'm actually enjoying like all the acting's top tier. It's not like your typical video game acting where you're like, oh, this is fucking brutal. Like it seems like you're watching like people that are doing a very good job with their acting performances.
Yeah.
Which is like I didn't think I would be into like half of these scenes, but like now here I am fucking going through each one of these scenes and watching it all and actually not skipping through it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. It's very unique. I've been actually telling a lot of people about it, like that people that don't even play video games or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like this is a good game for someone like that. Like if you're into film too,
I feel like it's a fantastic game to find itself on Game Pass because like this is a game that like I probably wouldn't have thought to myself to pick up, but the fact that it's on Game Pass and other like you guys and a few other people have been talking highly enough about it, I'm like, oh shit, I should probably like see if it's a game for me.
The icon for the game looks so corny that like most people are like, what the fuck is this? Like if you look at the icon when you like download it, you're like, this is stupid. It just doesn't look good. It's like the girl like with flames around her or something. It looks like something from like an 80s movie where I guess probably what they were going for, but
Yeah.
I feel like most people will look at that and be like,
Is this something that you think would interest you, Dom?
I can't play it.
Oh, is it a Series X only? Oh, interesting.
oh really? Weird.
Yep.
Interesting.
Apparently, it's being developed by Netflix to be on iOS. So
Okay.
at some point, I'll play it.
That'd be a great game to be honest.
I
You
went
should
to
be able to play it on something because, like, for me, like when I went to go play it on my actually, wait, I am playing on my Xbox One X, but it was doing cloud gaming. I was wondering why it didn't download. It was just doing cloud gaming for me.
Oh, okay.
Whatever, I'll deal with it later.
I suppose I could try to play it on a laptop, but I don't know if I have a laptop.
Try it on your Xbox. See if it does cloud gaming for you.
It wouldn't let me download it.
So it won't download. It'll just say play on the cloud. It will just let you play it immediately.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can attempt that.
That's what it did
Yeah,
for me.
I think
it
you're
was
actually.
Series X only.
I think Dom would probably like it.
Yeah. You think this could be a sleeper game for you that might end up on your top 10 for the year?
I mean, I already know what my game of the year is, but fucking yeah, I'm sure it could.
What's your game of the year?
Saifu, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But nothing will beat that game for me. Like I play that game like 2 hours a day still, if not every other day. Like I literally am like I'm absolutely obsessed with that game. And they keep on updating it, so like they're like adding like so now like there's each round you can have a score for and like go against other people. But I mean, I stream that shit all the time. Mike sees it, and he's it's fucking. I'm playing the same level over and over again, and I am not skipping a beat. I fucking love every second of it.
Todd speedrunning Sifu.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
He's
love.
He's
love
trying to do no death runs, and he's dying a lot.
Nah, I die at the end every time.
Like you get through the whole game and then die at the end of the game.
Oh, Mike, you like this? I didn't record yesterday. I got through the first and second level without dying. The one time I'm not recording.
You took the pressure off the plate.
It probably what it was. Because then I like to stop what I'm doing and like restart the level. Like, you know, like the second I die, I'm like, all right, here we go. Even if I got through all the way to the end, I'm like, fuck, here we go again.
Do you get something for not dying? Is that why you're trying to do it, or are you just trying to do it?
I'm trying to 100% it, and I want to get every level at age 20. So if you beat the game at age 20, it's like you get like a trophy for that. But I just like really want to.
Todd's trying to fucking platinum this game. Who is Todd now? Look at Todd over here.
Honestly, this is like one of the. So like.
The Platinum Poppy. That's Todd's new intro.
I held like Arkham's combat to such a high standard, and this just jumps above and beyond Arkham's combat for me personally. That I don't think I'll ever play a game this intricate and like. It's fucking hard. It can be very hard, but like once you start getting like, there's so many moves. It's just fucking nuts. Like it makes Arkham look like a kid's game to me at this point because of the combat in this. Like I feel like I actually feel like I'm John Wick. No, you know, like it's crazy. It's like very detailed combat. Game of the year.
Yeah, it did nothing for me, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Skill gap. It's definitely a skill gap.
Oh, it's a skill-based game. Gotcha.
Yeah. It's like multiverses. I get that you don't like these games, but just give it some time, practice, and you will get there.
For sure, 100%. Has anyone been playing anything else before we move into the final topic?
Oh, I have one more thing.
It does work cloud gaming, by the way.
Oh shit, Dom's about to.
Yeah. Definitely try it out, Dom.
He's about to flick through some movie reels.
Well, yeah. Now I gotta fucking beat Sifu so I can fucking make it game of the year.
Yeah, you're gonna. Yes, you should definitely play that next. But what the fuck was I just gonna say? Oh, I bought Battlefield. I don't know the issues that everyone have. I fucking love it. I'm loving it. It is like my itch for like a multiplayer right now, and it's not like competitive. It's like fun. It's just, and that's a game that like once you start like getting in the groove with Battlefield, and you start like fucking figuring out what you're doing, you just appreciate it more and more. But I feel like it's in a good place right now. I can't speak on what it was like when it launched. It sounded like it was a fucking train wreck, but I am really enjoying myself with Battlefield.
What's the current one? 2042?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably not a thing I'm gonna.
It's just chaos. It's like 128 person matches, so like it's basically
that was the worst. When the last game, I think it was, I bought it and I would like jump in and just immediately be sniped. Like,
oh, that's how it always is. You gotta
like every time you load, you're just dead.
Once you like that's like goes back to like you got to play it for like a couple hours, and then you like when you find your groove, you're like, oh, I'm not making that mistake anymore. And like they have classes now and everything too, and I'm using a healing class, which I think the class sucks, but I'm not dying because every time I get shot, I just instantly like heal myself. So I'm like, oh, I'm good at this game now, you know. But yeah, but I mean that's probably gonna be my multiplayer game for the rest of the year because nothing else good's coming out. Minus Splatoon.
Yeah, Splatoon is gonna be your multiplayer game going forward. Like 100%.
I'll play a shit ton of Splatoon. So
let's be honest. Let's be honest to ourselves here.
Besides that, though, nothing else good's coming out.
So the main or the final topic for the evening that I was gonna bring up the other week, but we just didn't fit time wise, and I feel like it probably makes more sense now that there's been a little bit more time elapsed. So Dom had recently been able to secure a PS5, and
yep. Go on.
If I am remembering correctly, you had a PS3, but you did not have a PS4.
I had a PS3, but not a PS4. Correct.
So, like, how is this gap right now for you? Like, were there a lot of PS3 games that you missed out on too, or is it just this like gap of PS4 games that you're gonna now potentially revisit or have the chance to visit?
I got Last of Us at the end of the PS3's run.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play it?
So I never got a chance to. I started it, but never played it all the way through.
Yeah.
So I have that for. I bought the PS4 version before the remaster came out, like this newest remaster.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. So I'll play that. There were like Spider-Man I've already beaten. Miles I started today.
Bro, you're in like
Seafoods.
You have so many good games to play right now.
I have a bunch of PS4 games to play, yeah.
Yeah,
And then
it's
like,
awesome.
and then I've got to play through God of War so I can play Ragnarok this year. Like, I've got plenty of stuff like on the slate to play,
Yeah.
What do you think of the
which is why
console
I
itself?
feel like I haven't turned like I barely touched my Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of,
That's me recently.
yeah, but the different conversation. Dom's
I mean, I
making
have
up for
years
two.
worth of
Yeah, he's
games.
making up for two consoles here.
Yeah.
But so you secured this, and the first thing you dipped into was Spider-Man. 2017. I don't know when that game came out.
2018. I'm playing the remaster of that as well.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
So how are you like?
yes, that is the first. Well, besides Multiverses was the first game I played on my PlayStation. So.
Let's go, baby. Yo, I was streaming Multiverses last night. Fucking smacking people around.
Nobody cares about any of that.
Um,
So
I also played Fortnite on it, which it plays way better on this new generation of consoles than it does on.
So
consoles.
I'll say this right now. Like, I will occasionally play Fortnite on Switch in bed if I just want to like farm,
It's brutal,
stuff.
man.
It used to not be as bad, but lately
never-
it's
as they
really
make
bad.
updates- I feel like as they make updates for the new consoles, the old consoles just get
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of
so
those.
far behind.
It's just like a fucking lag fest, basically. It's everything's delayed. It's just.
Oh, I don't think I don't see any lag or anything. I just think it's like it's just very rough looking. Like it is like
actually,
very rough
The
looking.
I feel like the load times are terrible when
Yeah.
you're playing the
Yeah.
It's basically like playing fucking PUBG for the first time on like Xbox. Like it's like
Like,
the
yes.
pop in with that shit is like
Yeah, when I was playing with you guys yesterday, like every match that we played, I wasn't in the game until like halfway through the bus. Like I don't think I ever started on the like island when I was playing with you guys yesterday.
Jeez.
Like I always loaded onto the bus.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It's even like if I play, because I have my Series X up here in the office, and then I have my Xbox One X in my living room downstairs, and sometimes I'll play. I mainly just have it down there in case I want to play something down there, which I normally am not playing stuff down there, but it's more so just I use it as my like entertainment feeder, so it has all the apps and whatever that I'm using. But I played Fortnite on that recently too, just to like kind of bang out some missions while I was downstairs, and it was the same thing. I was like, how is the gap between this and Series X this bad? Like, it's not unplayable or bad, but like it is such a noticeable gap.
Looks like a different game.
It really fucking does. Like, and I don't even like I have a One X, which is like
I'm playing from Xbox
Yeah.
One to PlayStation 5. So.
I'm playing on my Series X for Fortnite when I play on Xbox, and like my Series X sounds very loud. I don't know if you've ever listened to yours when you're.
I
playing,
don't feel like mine
it's
is
like
loud.
it's the only
ever.
game that makes my Series X loud. It's the Fortnite is the only game that does that. It's very strange. I'm like I go over there and like I put my head about it, and like the fans are on like overtime when I'm playing that every time. It's so weird.
Yeah, that's bizarre. How bizarre.
So,
So
John, what do you like better? Do you like the PlayStation and like the feel and like the controller and everything? Because I tell Brenden all the time I prefer the PS setup over the Xbox this generation.
I haven't really noticed a huge difference yet, like controller wise. I don't love that center button.
I can't stand the trackpad thing. No interest.
It's
it's
odd.
I feel like they don't even utilize it really. Like there's like one or two games.
Miles uses it, and I was like, I didn't know that I could swipe on this, but whatever. It's just odd to me.
So after you finish Spider-Man, because you're seemingly gonna 100% it, are you just jumping right into Miles, or you've already started playing Miles?
I started playing Miles today. I'll go back and finish like 100% Spider-Man at some point to get the platinum. But
after you bang that out, is God of War going to be your next dip because you want to try to get to Ragnarok?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Or Sifu, so that we can make it past the controller game of the year.
Ooh.
Let's go. And I told you, you bought Days Gone too, right?
Days Gone, I have to. Yep.
Because I'm at like the end of that, and that's another game that I know like wasn't like. I shouldn't say it was like ill received because like it still was pretty decently received, but like at the point it's at now, I think a lot of the bugs are gone. But I'm enjoying the fuck out of that game. And it's like it's a perfect open world game for me. Like I just don't feel like I like get confused playing it. Like some of these games, and I told you about Ghosts. You got to play Ghost of Tsushima too. That's another
Yeah.
fucking amazing. There's so many games he has to
Right.
play.
Yeah,
Lots
you
better.
get plenty of time. You get
Last of
plenty
Us
of
2,
time.
I mean, Last of Us 1 and 2 is like on
This
another
is
level.
this is what I think we should really do. As set it here, it's September, gives us a nice healthy fucking 5 months, 4 months. I don't know how math works. 3 months. There's 3 months left in the year. I don't know how to do math apparently. Or I guess four because you count September.
Yeah, we just got September. Yeah.
So we should all play The Last of Us 1 before this year is over. And the four of us should talk about it. Because it will be new for Mike and Dom. And it will be me and Todd revisiting it. And Todd,
My fifth time playing it. I just started it.
Yeah,
I had to
and,
rewatch
like,
that whole opening scene and
Todd-
fucking have my heart ripped out.
Todd and I will be playing the newest version of the game, which I don't know how much of it has changed. I'm sure the story hasn't changed. I don't know how much of the
No,
game.
the only thing that's changed is like the game. There's some like quality of life stuff.
Yeah.
It just looks better. They didn't really do too much to the combat because the combat in the first one's more like confined. Where,
Yeah.
Like, the other one is like way more open world where you can like run around and like they didn't add the dive in, like, you know, you can just dive and,
Yeah.
or the dodge mechanic, which
Yeah.
I kind of missed. But yeah, like stuff like that. But I mean, I told you I wasn't gonna fucking buy it. I convinced myself I wasn't gonna buy it, and then I'm like staring at my PlayStation the other night, and I'm like, fuck. I'm not gonna buy it.
I really want to start it. So I feel like it's like potentially in my opinion, like for PlayStation exclusives, I think Last of Us 1 and 2 are the best things that I've played. Like I had never finished Spider-Man. It was fine. It just didn't like hook its teeth into me.
Spider-Man's not even in my top 10 of like best PlayStation games ever.
I tried playing God of War. I do actually want to revisit God of War and give it another shot, but I tried playing God of War. It didn't really sink into me, but I want to give it a fair shot again. I played Horizon 1 and it just didn't do much for me. So like I played Ghost. Ghost is great. Like Ghost of Tsushima is great. I just like I don't love it as much as Todd loves it. I think it's great. I just don't love it as much as Todd loves it. But like as far as PlayStation exclusives, and I guess if you're gonna include Final Fantasy VII Remake in that, for Final Fantasy VII Remake's problems, I actually really like that game a lot. Like that's one of my favorite experiences I've had in the last couple of years. But Last of Us is like fucking blew me away. Like I played Last of Us in 2020 for the first time because I wanted to play it leading up to the second game, and part of me is like mad that I never fucking played that game, but I'm like I also can't be mad because it's like, oh, I still got to experience it and like didn't have that game robbed from me. Like I didn't have the story spoiled for me or whatever. And I don't know if the two of you have any parts of this story spoiled for you. I think it might be hard to avoid a certain specific spoiler for the second game at this point, but the first game, I don't know if you have those story beats spoiled for you in any way or not, but
I mean, I know general things that I like. I guess I know specific things that happen.
Yeah,
it's whatever.
Yeah, I think if you two think you can commit to that, it's probably about like maybe 12 hours. Like it's not long.
Yeah, the first game's not long. Yeah, it's like it's very linear too. It's
Yeah,
not like
it is very like, and like you could again for
the
this.
The second one's more open world where like you can get like lost in that world a little bit. But yeah, the first one's very
And
straightforward.
I even think when it comes to the first one and the second one, I think with the first one, like the important part of that game is mostly the story. So like you could bump that to the lowest difficulty and just kind of experience the story. Like I don't think you'd necessarily miss out on anything remarkable gameplay wise, especially because at this point it's a PS3 game. So like it is gameplay wise dated in a lot of areas. So it might not be terrible to just kick it down and fucking ride through the story.
I just started the remake at. I didn't do the hardest difficulty. I did one before it because the hardest difficulty is permadeath if you die. So I'm like, I'm not doing that.
No, yeah, no fucking way.
So I'm like, but I want to like, I'm gonna fucking challenge myself because I played this game so many times.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if I'm struggling, I'll set it off.
I-
I'll change it. But
I would love to see how Mike and Dom both feel about this game if we play through it as a group and then chat about it. I think it would be very good conversation.
I just think it's like a really great story. Like
It is a really good story.
It exceeds like the story narrative for like most video games these days.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very rare game that you get like that. Like,
Yeah.
as far as the story goes.
And I will say, like, if we do go through with this, Mike's being very quiet, so I don't know where Mike's standing on this right here. Like, are you?
Mike, do you have it already?
I think I do own it somewhere.
Oh shit!
PS4. I own it, and I don't. I mean, I don't turn my PS4 for anything. Like the games I want to play on my PS4, I don't play. I still haven't finished Stray. I bought the
I haven't
PS4
either.
to play Spider-Man. Never bothered playing Spider-Man. Like, and then The Last of Us. I don't remember why I bought it. I don't think I care about it that much. I'm interested in the story, so I'll watch the show. But I don't think I.
Yo,
care
it takes
about the
place in
game
Boston. Play that game before you see the story because, it
I
takes
know
place
those
in
games are for
Boston.
the show. Doesn't the game
yeah,
take place in Boston? Don't they go across the country?
Yes.
Yeah, like it's
the
not-
general setting for the game, you travel across the country.
Yeah.
Mike, I don't want to make you do something you don't want to do, but like, would you be down to do this? The four of us play through this
No,
game.
Probably not. I think I've said that many times. I won't stop you guys from doing it, but I don't.
How can we convince you to do it?
I cannot bring myself to play something that I wasn't thinking about playing.
Okay.
Is it just like it's a scary thing. Okay, so that's
This
I can get you
is
a binky
Destiny
and-
all over again.
Okay,
This
hold
is
on.
CFDs all over again.
Then let me throw.
This is every game that you've thrown at me.
Let me throw
You
this.
played Sea of Thieves, though.
That's true. Let me throw this at you, Mike. Let me throw this at you because yes, I play a lot of games. Yes, I love video games, but there are large swaths of genres and or games or even specific games like Last of Us that I always was just like, I wouldn't like this game. I'm
Yeah,
not going to
that's
play
what I
it.
was gonna say, like,
And
Brennan's like the kind of person that would hate this kind of game.
yes,
Like, this is
and
like
when
not-
it was probably mostly pushed on me because of the pandemic when it began. I started kind of branching outside of my comfort zone of games and choosing these experiences, and like I think if you were going to choose to do it, The Last of Us is potentially a really good choice to maybe have the same type of experience as me, where I'm at the point now where, like, ever since I played Last of Us and then played Last of Us 2, I do think about, like, fuck, what game could I play next to kind of fit that type of experience for me? And I struggle to find it. Like, I played Uncharted 1. No, I don't think I'm gonna try it at some point, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, I played Uncharted 1 and I liked it overall to the point where I'm like, all right, let me like see if I can play this whole series and
Go back to BioShock, man. Go back to like OG BioShock. I feel like that's
Maybe.
a game you would probably very much appreciate these days with story wise and like that gameplay. I say it all the time. It holds fucking up.
yeah. If you really don't want to actually physically play the game, like, which I would urge you to just knock it to the lowest difficulty and enjoy the ride, because I think the story is very good. If you really don't want to do that, I can commit to. Well, I guess first things first. Dom, are you on board to do this, even if it's just me, you, and Todd?
At the end of the year, yeah, I can beat it.
Yeah, by the end of the year, exactly. There's no just by the end of the year. It's a light thing, like 13 hours between the end of the year. We can make that happen.
Not, yeah, and it's probably.
And it's gonna-
But I also consistently watch the movie that we're supposed to watch the month.
No, I understand that.
So just play it the last day.
Yeah, here's 13-hour live stream. Here's what I can say about Last of Us. Once you start playing it, like, it's not going to be something that you're going to be like, oh, I'm like, it's going to be the situation where it's like you start a show on Netflix and it's like, all right, watch 3 episodes. Like, at my next point in time that I have the ability to, I need to watch the next episode. That's how you're going to feel about Last of Us. I think the story is that good that you're going to be like, you're going to pick it up, play what you can play, and like when you have a break from playing it, you're going to be thinking about when you can continue that story.
Mike, I'll stream it on Twitch since you're my biggest fan, and you can just fucking watch it.
There we go.
Well, so that's what I was going to say. If Mike really doesn't want to commit to playing it, Mike, what I can say is we can like slot out times where if you just want to come over, I'll move my PS5 down to my living room, I'll play the game, and I'll only play it when you come over. And we'll just fucking order food and fucking play the game. Because I really think the story is that good. and I actually really like the second game too. But that can be a thing where, like, that's a next year project if we decide to go down that road.
I like the story of the second game. I just think the first game is perfect, and I think the second game is very close to
beating
perfect. But
1 and 2 before the end of the year, or just
Two is like a 40-hour experience.
Yeah, well, I have to also play God of War and Ragnarok.
Yeah, so two we can do next year.
2 is probably like a 25-hour experience.
I don't think so. I think it's at least 30. Let me see what it says on the internet if I type in how long to beat this.
It depends if you're doing everything, and if you're gonna play it like an open world game, and
I am at 99% in Spider-Man, so I will be.
Jeez.
I'm also that way these days. I need to do every fucking. If I like the game, I'm gonna do every mission.
Let's see. How long to beat?
Didn't do any of the DLC though.
How long to beat.com says main story 24 hours 12 minutes, main plus extras 29 hours 37 minutes, completionists 43 hours 43 minutes. I want to say that my playthrough was probably about 30 hours.
Yeah, I was probably 35 because I tried to do a lot of stuff.
I didn't try to do everything. I just fuck. And if we do the second game next year, or if Dom fucking plays 1 and falls in love with it, and he's like, fuck, I gotta play 2.
I have a big stack of games.
That's true. That's true. But I do think that, again, the story of this is that good, and the way the game ends, you're going to be like, I really kind of want to know what happens in the second game.
Yeah. If you like the story, you're going to play the second one probably immediately.
I really want to play the second game again at some point, but I struggled with some of that game's things that were going on, not the story wise, just
I'm on my third playthrough right now.
Yeah, you're a crazy person. So that would be a great way to force me to have to play it again. And again, with part 2, Mike, I'll do the same thing. You want to come by? We'll bang it out together, because part 2 is definitely more gruesome. It is definitely
it went from a clunky game to a very competent action game.
Yeah.
It's just
hit me with a stack. Read through them. What do we got here?
Jesus, yes.
It's bluing out when you do that. Yeah.
It doesn't work. I have Trover.
Yep.
Dark Souls Remastered.
Yeah.
Ghostwire.
Wait, Demon Souls or Dark Souls?
Dark Souls. I haven't played any of those games.
Yeah.
Far Cry 6 I grabbed because it was on clearance. Sifu. God of War.
You have a physical copy of Sifu? I might need to buy a physical copy of Sifu.
Vengeance Edition.
Nice. Oh, so you get all the suits and everything. And different
Todd's jealous. Todd's about to go buy a fucking
I'm a little bit.
physical.
God of War, Death Stranding, Last of Us.
What am I saying?
Both Horizons. Miles, the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection.
Oh yeah, you got a lot to fucking play. A lot of great stuff to play.
Dumb. When you decide you want to start playing Uncharted, I will pick up 2 when you get to 2, because I am looking for an excuse to play those.
Oh, let me know.
I'm pretty sure I have all of the Uncharted games now too.
Yeah, I'll stop. I have them all too. I'll stop.
Because I have the Nathan Drake collection, and I have that new collection that they.
Yeah, so that should be everything. Yeah, so whenever you want to start doing that, I'm down to.
I can play. I think isn't there a PSP game?
Yeah, it's not. The controls were really brutal. It's whatever.
All right, I think
we'll play the Uncharted games with us.
Mike.
I did play the first one.
You're in. Mike's in. Yeah, Mike, it's fun. It's this is like a little book club. It's just a little book club.
We're in too many clubs. I'm in too many clubs.
Yeah, but this is a fun one. I promise.
So what else we got going on?
The other one wasn't even fun.
All right.
You're fucking. What?
We're locking this in. Last of Us by the end of the year. Last of Us 1. Dom, locked into this?
That's fine.
Okay.
I've already beat it
Mike.
several times.
What are we doing here? You locked in?
Mike, I'll send a YouTube video of the game so you can just watch that.
Yeah, he just texted me.
I mean, you can. There are super edits on YouTube of just the cutscenes. I don't think it would hit the same, to be honest, but you could do that and just watch a 5-hour movie or however long the cutscenes are.
Because unless this game is actually amazing, what will end up happening?
The story is. The game is not.
I will play through
Honestly,
it.
I think the game is too.
Just be sour about it the entire time. I'll be like, yeah, I played through it, and I didn't feel like playing it, so the story was fine, but I didn't care about it. That's how I see myself.
No, you don't care about the story.
I could be wrong, but I feel like most of the time, if I am told or, let's say, persuaded to do something I didn't really feel like doing, I'll do it and just be like, all right, well, it's done
Well,
now.
you gotta turn that frown upside down and not go in with that negative Nancy
Do
attitude.
you
You know, like
do you know anything about the story of the first game, Mike, or no?
probably not. I feel like that's something that's like
I think I know how it ends. I
Well,
think I
don't
know
say it
pretty
out
much
loud in
how it-
case
I
dumb.
think I know how it ends, and I know how that ties into the conflict of the second game.
Wait, you know how it ends too, Dom? I mean, I guess at this point it's hard not to know that, but
but there's like a little twist to that ending, though.
yeah, it's not as straightforward as you think. Fuck, man, I am like actively forgetting about the third act of that game.
That's what I'm saying. That's the best part of the game.
95
Wow.
out of 100 Metacritic.
Yeah.
Game Informer 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
IGN 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the greatest games ever.
It is definitely, Mike, like when it comes to video game storytelling, like Last of Us has a lot of fucking baggage around it when it gets discussed on the internet. Neil Druckmann has a lot of baggage around him when it gets discussed on the internet. All of those things aside, this is by far, in my opinion, one of the like just better video game stories out there. Like, it's just a very well done video game narrative where I feel like I don't really ever play video games for the narrative. If video games have a good story, that's just a plus. This is a game that, like, the story is, I think, very good. It's
the 5th highest rated PS3 game on Metacritic.
What's rated above it?
I would love for you guys to guess.
PS3 games. PS3
So-
games. I mean, I'm assuming I'm assuming this is not first party games, but it's not first party games. Is any games on PS3?
2 of them are definitely not. Hold on, I have to go back.
Yeah.
To that.
So then I would imagine that like maybe like a Call of Duty, Modern Warfare or something is up above it.
No, for ratings.
Modern Warfare
No.
or Modern Warfare 2? I don't know. People fucking blow that game.
No, you should be thinking of another franchise.
Yeah,
Uncharted.
Yes.
Uncharted.
Yeah,
Uncharted 2.
that makes sense because that's the best
That is
one.
that is one of the top 4.
Do you think Uncharted 2 is better than Last of Us 1, Todd?
No, I think Uncharted 2 is the best out of all of them, though. Like
Out of all the Uncharteds.
yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Demon Souls?
No
Nope.
way.
The other 3 are not. The other 3 are multi-platform.
Oh,
And
Demon
2
Souls.
and 2 of them are from the same franchise.
Mass Effect 2. Really? Wow.
One of them I know Mike has played.
That narrows it down.
Actually, to be fair, 2 of them I know you've played. One of them I think you've only played for like one night.
That
Is
that
it
happens,
Infamous?
like a lot.
Infamous.
Infamous?
No. Nope.
No, he says multiplat. 2 of them are multi-platform.
Oh yeah, multiplayer. Yeah.
BioShock?
No.
Nope, I
The
still haven't
fuck?
played BioShock.
Yeah.
I did play one of the Assassin's Creeds for a little bit.
Metal Gear Solid 4?
Oh yeah.
Nope.
What the fuck?
One of them is still on platforms, current platforms.
Like new games or this game?
Like this game, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's this game still.
Alright, I give up. You gotta tell me now.
Because the newest one is not out yet.
GTA
GTA 4.
Oh, wow.
GTA 5.
Okay.
makes sense.
That makes
Yeah.
sense, yeah.
And Arkham City.
Interesting.
nice.
Okay. Yeah, Mike, I think you should do it. And again, even if it's something like you'd rather experience in a group setting, like but you still want to play it, if you played it in Discord, I would watch it. And so would Ken. And probably Eric and Jesse. So like you'd have like conversation if you wanted conversation. If you didn't want to be alone.
Yeah, he's gonna get scared probably. That's probably why. I get it. Like, I can be there with
Yeah,
you.
you know, that's why I don't play Resident Evil, man. I don't play Resident Evil because of the scary zombies, and I don't play Last of Us because of the scary sickness.
Mike, I will tell you right now, a big proponent for me getting through Last of Us Part 2 were Cutwater Mai Tais. I was Mai Tai'd up for a majority of that game because it was a lot to handle. It was fucking a lot.
I played that game like no joke. Last of Us 2. Same with Ghost. Like I was playing that game 10 hours a day. Like not like stop. It was like the only thing I was playing. I didn't want to touch anything else. But I also didn't want to beat the story because I'm like I don't want this to end. And
Yeah.
oh man.
It
was right during pandemic too, right when like pandemic was like thriving, and
yeah,
it was like the best time for gaming.
We're locking this in. One way or another, Mike is gonna experience Last of Us, and we're gonna have Dom play it, and I'm gonna replay it. You're gonna replay it. It's gonna be a fucking fantastic time.
We're gonna tie you down and make you watch this game.
So we gotta do Last of Us, BioShock, and then Arkham Asylum. We're doing all 3 games by end of the year. All right, sounds good.
Wait, what? No. I will at some point play a BioShock if you want to replay it, or if anyone else wants to replay it. I'll play that for the first time. All right,
Mike, we have to link our consoles, and you'll have all the BioShocks.
There you go, Mike.
I think I already own the BioShocks.
Well, then there you go.
Also own all the BioShocks independently of PlayStation. So.
Yeah, right.
Fuck, man, Last of Us.
I want to go play it now when we fucking get off this.
I mean, I'm if Mike really doesn't want to try to play it himself, I'm almost saying, Mike, fucking scoot your ass over here after the show, and we'll start it up tonight. We'll fucking crack some Mai Tais.
Go back to immortality or whatever.
Okay, all right, fair.
I thought you were gonna say Phoenix Rising because that game is fucking straight doo doo. Yeah, go ahead.
It's also on Game Pass now.
That's the only
Bro, it's the Breath of the Wild killer.
Bro, it is the way that character moves. I'm not gonna get us started down another path.
Yeah, we're gonna sunset the way we sunset every episode with a little game we like to call "What's in the Box." If you're new to the show, if it's your first episode listening, every week we end with a game we call "What's in the Box," a game where I pull 3 games off my shelf. Sometimes I pull them off the internet if I either don't have the physical box anymore or I don't feel like pulling a game off my shelf. I read the back of the box. The panel has to guess what that game is based off the words I read. We keep track of the score all year long. The current leaderboard for the year is Dom with 44, Todd at 35, and Mike's been inching his way up the list at 30 points, sitting there ready to go. We get a bunch of guess points. Without further ado, game number 1.
Last of Us.
Incorrect.
It was a good guess.
It was a good guess. My name is blank blank.
My name is Judge.
Dom's already got the gears turning. I've crash landed on a strange planet. My blank is in pieces. My only hope for survival lies with blank blank I call blank.
Tinykins.
No.
Outer Worlds.
No.
Pikmin.
It is indeed Pikmin.
There it is.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Mike gets the point, baby.
That actually makes the most sense now after like.
Well, I had to say Tinykins first.
Mm.
Game number 2. Enter the next era of blank. I don't know if we can do this one. All out blank.
Splatoon 2?
Sounding familiar.
Splatoon 2?
No.
Splatoon 1.
No. It is funny. I was gonna do Splatoon tonight, but the back of the box for Splatoon is like it's just the game. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Or inking. Like it's literally just it would just be me omitting every word. Blank hazard zone. Engage in a tense squad focused survival experience.
Can you say the beginning again? Because we took too much of a break in between there.
Enter the next era of blank.
Okay.
All out blank. Fight in massive blank blank battles with total combat freedom. Blank.
Battlefield 2042?
Yeah. I'm mad because I had picked that game before you had started talking about it tonight, so I'm like, great, it's fucking sitting on everyone's mind. I was going to also, the third game, which we're not going to do because it's very obvious when you start reading the back of the box, the third game that I was going to pick.
Wait, do it though.
Initially, you're going to get it right away. Let me.
Do it then. That's it.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Give
my
me the
god.
points. This is going to be max pain points right here.
No, this is not for points. This is very easy. Let's see if I can find it.
See, I feel like the easy ones that you expect us all to get are the ones we never get, though.
Well, that's because you're just bad at the game.
Maybe.
Okay. Don't seek blank. Make it. The blank came without warning. 98% of the world's population vanished. Then came the monsters. Lead the world's remaining...
Oh, what is this?
Fortnite?
It's Fortnite.
Okay. Did you do Fortnite before recently?
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
different
but
box,
this...
though. It was one
So...
of,
So I wanted to do Fortnite tonight, and I was like, oh, I'll do the original box of this game, because it was a different game back then.
It's the Save the World story.
Gotcha.
If you look up how much a physical copy of the original game is, it is
Probably a lot.
very fucking expensive, especially if it's a new copy. Like, almost to the point where, in my head, I'm like, these things were definitely like fucking $4 probably being clearanced out everywhere because the game flopped immediately. And these copies are very expensive on the internet. And it's also interesting to note, because I was not aware of this, the cover of the game does not have Jonesy on it,
No.
which I think is very funny.
Jonesy's not in the Save the World story, I don't think.
That's so bizarre to me. It's a female character in the front that I think is a skin often, like has variants in the shop. There is 3 other characters that I don't really think are variants or in the shop really ever. Anyways, we're not going to do that. We're going to go to the real third game, which I think might be sort of...
We're not going to count my point now?
Yeah.
Putting that in dispute.
I'm going to put parentheses 1 Fortnite. Dom's got a couple of parentheses hanging. He's got 4 parentheses.
Whoa.
Are you happy, Todd? You said do
That's what
the
happens.
game that you're not actually gonna do. And you're like, no, let's do it for points, and then you let Dom get the point.
No, we said we're going to do it. No one
Yeah, I put it in parentheses. It's not a point. It's just later for funsies at the end of the year when I'm like, oh, even if Dom was behind, he still has these other 6 points. Anyways, game number 3. When one man is not enough. I that was an awkward pause. Let me reread that line.
The end of the back of the box.
Yeah,
Like,
let me
That's the whole back of the box.
let
I
me
have the theme in my head right now, but I need to hear more.
let me reread that sentence because I definitely put the emphasis on that wrong. When one man is not enough. Never fight alone. Master blank combat with a live or AI partner to form the deadliest private military partnership a
I'm
government.
here too.
All right, Todd fucking sniped it.
I knew that was like the first thing I thought. That was where I was going. So
That's
I actually like those games. Those games are pretty good.
I think I only played the first one. I thought it was good. I think that's a across the board week. So the points all go up 1 for everyone. So congratulations, you guys.
No, I got fucking 7
Todd
points
got
on
2.
that.
Oh, so Todd got 2. Okay. So the week ends with 44 for Dom, 37 for Todd, and 31 for Mike. So there we have it. That has been Back of the Box. That has been episode 331 of the Pest Control Podcast. Like I said at the top of the show, you can support us in a bunch of different ways. Please do any of those things. Leave us a review. The last review we got was a 1-star review calling us, I don't know the exact wordage, leftist.
It was foul-mouthed leftist.
Yes, foul-mouthed leftists. And I think also calling us stupid, or maybe a different word for stupid. So, yeah. If you don't agree,
We are stupid.
yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's
Yeah, I
fair.
don't disagree
Yeah,
with
we
that,
spent a lot of time talking about cobblers and like what their income was. I don't think that's
Yeah,
like,
we're
I-
just trying to bring them to life.
We're talking about, I feel like we're having a thoughtful discussion about a topic that we weren't, fully engaged in, Mike. You know what I mean? We were bringing some new information to the group here and to the listeners out there. But
We probably brought like $27 to $30 to like a couple problems. So like,
someone's getting cobbled this week.
yeah.
Anyways, leave us a review. Share us, do all the fun things. We love you. We'll see you next week with the next episode. This has been episode 331 of the Pest Control Podcast. Follow us everywhere on social media at Pass Controller. You can follow me at Big Room. You can follow Mike at _Mycopath, Todd at Toddy_by_nature, at Dom at PTC_One Little Spark. We love you. Be safe. Until next time.